Welcome back. Talking about another money matter, but in a different way. We've got David Dada joining us this morning. He is the president, DTCcorp.ng. He's an ICT consultant, smart contract developer, and information security expert, among several other things. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Nice to be here.
Well, this is coming up because, I mean, over the weekend, the news of the arrest of a certain Abayomi Oluwasesan, who, by operatives of Interpol, they said at the time that he allegedly hacked into his company's blockchain account and stole $87 million, and then which led to why they're raising an awareness campaign on security consciousness, what people need to do. And you know, about this blockchain technology too, several people, yes, they spoke about it, but not a lot of people understood what it entailed. Many just, okay, they trust a certain person, invest their money and trust that person to do their due diligence. But with this kind of story, what kind of issues, how did this even hit you when you see this kind of story? Because you, in that sector, you will be part of those who will be guaranteeing, assuring people that certain things will be secure for them to go into.
So first, we need to differentiate between blockchain and crypto, which I think is the issue here. So there seemed to be, they were trying to describe what happened in a cheeky way by saying blockchain. I mean, it's like when you say somebody logged into my Windows and stole my money, my Windows operating system. The blockchain is like that operating system with several components. Now, crypto is just a part of the blockchain. The blockchain itself, it's an inevitable technology that, whether we like it or not, it's coming on us, it's upon us already, and there's nothing we can do about that, all right? It's like when the internet came, certain individuals were saying, oh, we can't work with these, oh, there's security issues, but today, I mean, it's almost impossible to run the world without the internet, and that's how blockchain is going to come along as well. It's the next phase of the internet, if you wish. Now, the issue here is about crypto, not the blockchain. Now, within that crypto space, there's a whole lot of fraud going on there because...
do you have to breach the blockchain to access the crypto?
No, you run your crypto on a blockchain. Yeah. So you really cannot technically breach the blockchain.
Because it's just...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to say you're going to hack the blockchain, for instance, all right? But you can get into people's crypto wallets and all of that if they do not consider certain security measures, you know, within that platform. And I think that's exactly what happened in this case. So it's not a case of a blockchain. I think it's a case of a crypto platform gone wrong.
So just tell us then, what could have gone wrong in this case?
I read the story, and I think both the guy that is making this accusation and the guy that is being accused, I think they both have some explanation to do. There seem to be a lot of issues between the two that are not yet in the public glare, and I'm sure the Interpol will get into the details of that. According to the story, the CEO gave access to the Abayomi guy to be able to run the platform, and I don't know how you do that. If you know you have a platform with billions of naira, hundreds of millions of dollars, why will you hand over the information, the access to an individual? I mean, who does that? Within any financial transaction online, if you are a platform that administers people's funds, at least there must be two people who initiate and maybe one or two other people who approve. So how do you then hand over control to just an individual and then you turn around to accuse the individual? What do you expect? It's like opening your vault to a thief and hope that they won't steal anything from it.
Okay. Now talk us through this, which you call the components of blockchain architecture. So we can just have this graphic representation. Probably might stick with us. So you talk about the node being a system or user within a blockchain. So just go ahead and speak to this for us, if you will.
So if you look at the blockchain, there are so many components. I mean, crypto is just one of them. You know, identity, security, and so many other components are available, and even more are evolving based on the opportunities of what blockchain offers. And in Nigeria, I mean, there seems to be a confusion. Every time you say blockchain, people think of crypto. but it's not the same. It's not exactly the same.
Well, people will immediately relate it to what they know runs on blockchain. I mean, and one of the things we have heard that, crypto does is that it runs on blockchain technology.
It does.
So, I mean, when you hear blockchain, automatically, your mind goes to crypto. Can you tell us of any other thing, apart from crypto, which runs on the blockchain technology which you're currently using? So
you can put your document on a blockchain and secure it, for instance, your certificates. If schools decide to, this transcript thing, they want to be able to share transcript in such a way that it is not editable, it is not, it can be tampered with. You can actually put all of that on the blockchain and give a key or something to whoever wants to access it, that you want to give access to. So the person will be able to read only that document. That's one very good use case of a blockchain as well, apart from crypto. And there are so many others that people can actually delve into.
No, that's not everyday use. Only for people who are leaving school find that useful, perhaps. But then, crypto, it was same. It's the biggest, the biggest use, I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the biggest user of blockchain technology that many Nigerians know. When it first of all came, it raised a lot of controversy. We saw how the CBN was against it and how, there was fear of, the fact that the market wasn't regulated and it was seen that they couldn't regulate it. But now it was seen that they are beginning to encourage it somewhat. The Nigerian government also launched its own E-naira to also run on that particular technology. It hasn't particularly caught on. So can you tell us precisely what the attraction will be, or what the attraction is for those who want to use blockchain technology?
So when you say it hasn't particularly caught on, it therefore means that you're not within that sphere. I mean, you're not playing within that field, because it's probably one of the ways that the younger Nigerians have been able to make money beyond what we know as the regular means of generating income.
So if you talk about crypto, sorry to interrupt you, of course, I mean, I understand lots of people have made money off crypto. But I was talking about when the government got in, it doesn't seem that they have been able to convince. I don't know about you, if you have E-naira in your wallet, I don't know.
Of course.
But there are many people, we've seen the drive by the CBN to try and convince everyday Nigerians to subscribe to the E-naira. For me, I don't quite understand it. I've been asking what would be the difference between the E-naira and the regular naira I have on my e-platform, So these are questions that, average Nigerians are asking. So I'm saying that it hasn't quite caught on that's the E-naira part of it. But crypto, of course, I know crypto. A lot of people have made money. Bitcoin is something else these days.
So I think the CBN has got to do a lot of work around, educating people on the benefits of E-naira. In my own opinion, it's a very great innovation. E-naira is just electronic version of your regular naira. Why is it not catching up with the youth? Is because they cannot make the kind of money that they make from crypto, because the same value you get with your E-naira, it doesn't appreciate because you have kept it in your wallet and so on and so forth. Unlike when you buy a Bitcoin and you leave it there for 30 days, you could become a millionaire if the thing just spikes, by just leaving it there for 30 days. But that cannot happen with E-naira. It's just an electronic version of your naira, and you can use it, to do businesses easily, and it's cheaper to use than even your paper. If it catches on, it's a lot cheaper to use than even carrying paper around or using your regular naira. But for some reason, people are just staying away from it, and they're not, really working with
Isn't it because of stories like this? I mean, the fact that somebody can just hack a system and, hey, voila, $73 million, $83 million is gone overnight. Now I'm wondering what's going to happen to investors who have put their money in that particular crypto. I don't know. We're not told what. We're not told what wallet it was or what, let's say denomination. I don't know that's the word they use in crypto language, but we're not told what platform it's affected. But isn't it because people still have certain doubts as to, I'd rather hold my naira and be seeing it in my hand?
Let me say this emphatically. It's actually a lot more secure to have your e-naira than your physical naira. And nobody can just get into your wallet on any platform, on any electronic platform, without your consent, whether knowingly or unknowingly. It's not possible. All right? So it's actually a lot safer to have your money on those electronic platforms.
So how did this happen?
I just told you at the beginning, this guy literally gave access to the man that stole the money. He gave him the login code. I mean, what else do you expect? All right? So it's a lot more secure than carrying money in your wallet. But the challenge here is that people do not recognize just yet that giving out information, talking to people about your birthday, for instance, talking to people about your username, your email. So you go online, someone say, I'm doing giveaway, drop your account number, and people foolishly drop their account number on the platform. That is like opening the door to your bank account because your email is already on that platform. In all probability, your phone number is also there. A combination of this information can give me access with the right tools to your account, and I can take anything from it. So people are not yet aware the danger of doing things on social media, of even phone calls in public places. There are certain things you don't do. Why? Because we're now living in the electronic age, and a lot of caution needs to be put in place by those of us who are using this platform for our day-to-day transactions.
Lagos.
You can imagine what a lot of people are thinking now. They have to grapple with all of these technologies coming in. There's AI again, and they're thinking, no way. Can you just give me some time to settle in all of these technologies? But, you know, there's a blockchain, there's cryptocurrency, and then trading platforms. And I think this is particularly a case of a trading platform which went wrong, as it were, which is in this case the name of that particular platform. So help us understand. So there are trading platforms. Just recently, I mean, you heard that Binance declared the Binance Nigeria as a scam entity. We've seen a lot of other platforms also crashing. Yes, crypto goes up and down, but those platforms particularly, we've seen very major issues with them. How can you differentiate between a legitimate platform and a Ponzi scheme? Because for a lot of people, they see these platforms as Ponzi schemes. As you said, there are questions to be answered about this particular case. And how do you know which is a Ponzi scheme, which is, the right one? And particularly, how can people get their money back? Because a lot of people have invested into this one. Maybe not the ROI, but at least their capital.
Anyway, I didn't get the last part of the question.
The last part was how people can get their monies back, their capital at least, maybe not their ROI.
Okay. Now, as to how to decipher which is true or false, which is real or fake, you just have to do your due diligence, all right? You need to find out who are these guys. Now, any platform that doesn't have a face to it, you can't pinpoint, you don't know who the CEO is, you don't know who are the people behind that platform, then you really want to be wary. You can't pin them to a particular address, you don't know where they're operating from, and so on and so forth. Then if whatever they are promising you sounds too good to be true, you probably want to be wary of such a platform. You don't want to go there. I mean, if someone is telling you it will double your money in 24 hours, then you want to really watch your back. With regards to that, you don't want to put your money there. And there are so many other things you must look out for when you put it. But you see the desperation here. People really want to get rich quick. And I normally say this, your get-rich-quick scheme is actually a get-poor-quick scheme at the end of the day. So you don't want to go there, all right? Then when your money is gone on this platform, most of the time it's very, very difficult, especially within the crypto space. Some of these things are done with a lot of anonymity. You don't know where the money is transferred to, and there's a whole lot of inter-networking going on from one point to the other, so it's difficult to track some of these things. So once your money is gone on some of these platforms, it's always very difficult. Remember, some of them don't have faces attached to it. You don't even know who the CEO is, you don't know where their offices are, you don't know how to track them, and so on and so forth. So if you jump on such a platform where you don't know who is behind the platform, you're already running a risk from the beginning.
Well, Mr. Dada, a quick one. When you said that the blockchain is very secure and can be used for all kinds of things, including putting on documents and all, the natural question that came to me is in the fallout of the 2023 elections. Is it something that can, one way or the other, be used for the elections, since you say it's very secure?
There was a group, and I happened to be part of the group that actually championed, putting our election results on a blockchain, because if election results are transmitted from the polling unit, for instance, directly to a blockchain platform, it will be almost impossible for anybody to alter those results. So eventually, Nigeria may not get there, maybe not even in the next 4 or 5 election cycles, but I believe someday we're going to get there, because countries are going to be countries have started adopting this, by the way. And I foresee a future where our election results from the polling unit will be transmitted directly to the blockchain, and it will remain, immutable. It will remain very authentic, and nobody will be able to change it. So indeed, blockchain could be a very good platform where we can send our election results to going forward. But I know, I mean, considering where we are as a nation in terms of this technology, we may not get there anytime soon, but that would be a fantastic achievement.
So what is responsible for the slow... What is responsible for the low adoption? I mean, you spoke about E-naira the other time. A good number of people, digital experts such as yourself, are saying there is a low adoption among Nigerians. One of the questions a number of people ask is, if I put my money in the E-naira wallet, how am I going to get it out? How am I going to use it for transactions? For the other fellow also has to have an E-naira wallet and all of that. So what is responsible, in your opinion, for the low adoption of these advanced technologies in our nation, particularly at government levels?
Ignorance. Ignorance, that's just the simple answer to it. If you look at the evolution of money, right from trade by barter to where we are right now, where we use fiat currency, the next stage, the next form of money is going to be e-money or electronic money. And that is where your E-naira will come from. That is where your crypto will become an inevitable means of transaction, and so on and so forth. Now, the earlier we come to terms with this reality and begin to adopt this technology early on, the better for all of us.
I find that also
right?
interesting, Mr. Dada. Pardon me for butting in.
Yeah.
I found that also very interesting when you say the earlier we come to terms. 2 years ago, E-naira, I mean, October of 2021, E-naira was launched by the federal government, that's the Central Bank of Nigeria. I don't know for how long we've had the national broad blockchain policy, and we've had cybersecurity awareness since as far back as I can remember in our nation. So when you say ignorance, low adoption as a result of one thing or the other, how long will it take us to catch up when already we have a national blockchain policy, we have E-naira, and a number of other things? A good number of Nigerians are already adopting these things already.
A good number of Nigerians, I know supermarket, with chains of supermarket across the country, have also adopted E-naira. But there is no enough incentives on the part of the CBN for everyday person on the street to adopt E-naira as a means of transaction. I think that is one of the main things that CBN will need to do. Incentivize the use of E-naira. That will make it to catch on a lot easier with a lot of people. When they see the benefits and they see the incentives attached to it, try to make people gravitate towards the use. That will improve the adoption.
I see somebody complaining about online transactions, how he did a transaction and the person he did a transaction with has disappeared. So could you just take us through what people need to do, the basics of securing online transactions? First,
where are you doing these transactions from? How do you access the internet? The first thing you need to be careful of is, look, if you're using an unsecured Wi-Fi, a lot of your transactions have been spoofed by someone else. Somebody else is watching what you're doing. So you go to the supermarket, you go to the airport, you go to public places, and you see unsecured Wi-Fis and all of that, and you decide to log in. The moment to log on to that, I mean, I could set up...
Free Wi-Fi is
free
dangerous.
Wi-Fi, very, very dangerous. I could set up, what we call the evil twin network right here and make it free. Of course, you're going to get access to the internet, but you're giving up something in exchange which you don't know. There's no free lunch in Freetown. So when you see free Wi-Fi, you're actually paying for it in a way, and the system is set up that the cost benefit is obviously not fair. So I give you free internet, but I'm going to take your information. I'm going to get your password. I'm going to get your username. I'm going to get your token, and I'll store it somewhere. You get off my network. I go somewhere and pick all the things in your bank account. and I go home. So and you can't trace me to anywhere.
So beware of free Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
So
very dangerous.
Don't just use free Wi-Fi, basically.
It's safer to stay away from it.
Wait, does it mean that no matter the kind of security platform or you have on your phone, if you use free Wi-Fi, you leave your digital footprints there?
The moment you get onto that free Wi-Fi, you've excluded all those security stuff that you put on your phone.
Oh dear.
So
what? I'm not the only one who's guilty. I've been using free Wi-Fi in some areas.
Yeah, so you need to be very careful. You need to be very, very careful. The next thing that people should be careful of is giving out their information. And I just...
What kind of information? Okay, the account numbers.
They're a combination of what we call phishing and social engineering. Those two things put together form about 90% of the vulnerability spot for people. There is what we call phishing. So you get a message. It could be a text message. It could be a WhatsApp message. It could be an email, you know, telling you, oh, you've been enrolled for this one popular one right now, remote jobs. Click here to register. The moment you click that link, you've opened up that device to someone else to have access.
Wow.
All right? So you log on to your mail, you see this email, very attractive content, very, you know, appealing content. The moment something is pushing you to click, maybe you want to check first. Don't go ahead and just click. Whether it's a text message, it could be a picture. Don't just click.
Number two, how do I know if my phone is hacked?
Quite a number of ways to know. The first thing you see your phone, one of the telltale signs is the fact that your phone will begin to be very hot because there will be a lot of activities on it. So you see your phone is so hot.
just be sure.
And then you'll be wondering
whether I use it or not.
Yeah, you're not using it, but sometimes it will come up and say you're using so gig of data, and you look at it, I'm not really doing anything.
Oh.
It's very likely someone else is using your phone without you knowing. And you know, the dangerous part about this is they send a spyware to your phone. Now, this spyware may come in form of some very useful software or app on your phone, and you, because you really want to see what that app can deliver, you go ahead and click. Now, what you don't know is that is actually a spyware. And the nature of a spyware is that it's installed, and then it goes into the stealth mode. When it gets to the stealth mode, now this is a dangerous part. The moment the spyware is activated, I can listen into your conversation, I can put on your camera and look at the places that you are. I can take a picture of you without you even knowing.
Wow.
I can see everything in your text message, in your WhatsApp, in your email, just because you install an app that you do not know the source.
How susceptible are we to this sort of attacks?
Now, when you're installing any app, please, when they tell you we're going to access your camera, we're going to access your phone book, we're going to access your Wi-Fi, we're going to access this. Always ask, why do you need this for me to get that done? All right? But because the moment you say yes to all of that, they actually have access to all those things.
Wow. Okay.
And they can do anything with that.
Well, at the time, but if people already said yes, how do they then go back and say...
Reset your phone to factory setting.
Factory setting?
Yes.
So even if it's been hacked...
Yeah.
Wait, if you reset, will you lose all those apps?
That's the worst case scenario. Now, I'm just giving you if all else fails, just reset to factory.
What happens to all those apps?
They will be wiped off.
Wow.
All right? Just do total reset. However, there are anti-spywares that you can install that will pinpoint these things and remove them. But again, some anti-spywares are actually spywares.
Spyware themselves.
Oh, my goodness. So from hand to fire. Well, there are several other cases. For instance, people who use... what you call it now, home personalized Wi-Fi in their homes. Yeah. And then the service provider is the one who has all those key details. You can't access and see what happens. Is it a good thing to do?
Well, for that, I mean, that's a breach of trust from the service provider. I mean, if anything like that happens, then you can take that up with the service provider. Ideally, that shouldn't happen. All
right, Mr. David Dada is the president. DT Coop.ng.
Digital Tribes, yes.
ICT consultant and a smart contract developer and information security expert. Let's see, I think we'll have some messages that came through now. So
we do, but we're almost out of time, Chamberlain.
Okay, all right. So there you go. Unfortunately, we can't take them, but we will tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain Usof. Goodbye.
Well, that's a promise I'm going to hold him to. Thank you so much for watching. And be careful. Awoof de rombele. Thank you.
Well, it was for a good cause. I mean, keep uninstalling those needless apps. I've been uninstalled like 4 now. And more to go. I'm Kayode Okikiolu.
Wait, do you say Awoof de rombele is for good cause? Anyway, I'm Ayo Makini. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
The time we spend not taking cure. Goodbye.